Short, president of the ministry training school we call EBNESR. Learning to serve God, family, and country should be the aim and end of all true learning. Benjamin Franklin said that 200 years ago, but we at the National Bible School believe that it's still true. And the Apostle Paul said it even better. He said, all Scripture is given by God, and all Scripture is useful for teaching and for showing people what is wrong in their lives. It is useful for correcting faults and teaching the right way to live. Using the Scriptures, those who serve God will be prepared and will have everything they need to do every good work. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 16 through 17. We seek to provide a well-rounded education to each and every student that will make them the very best servants they can be. Our name, in fact, reflects just that. Our name is the National Bible School for the Equipping of Servants of the King. Our gratefulness to God for all He has done in our ministry is also reflected in our name. The first letters of this name form an acronym in Portuguese that almost spells the name Ebenezer. We started the school in July of 1998. God had so blessed us in the Northeast that we remembered the words of Samuel in 1 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 12. And Samuel took a stone and set it between Mizpah and Shin, and called the name of it Ebenezer, saying, Jehovah has helped us until now. This school is certainly our Ebenezer, and God has certainly helped us all the way. The Church of Christ started in earnest in the Northeast in 1980 with a team of 5 families and a single man arriving in Recife. My wife Kathy and I, along with our children, were a part of that team. Other American teams came in the years to follow, and the church took off here in the Northeast, especially in the major cities. That growth continues and has greatly increased, especially since the beginning of our training school in 1998. Take a look at the growth pattern. In 1980, there was 1 congregation. By 1990, there were 10. In 1998, when we returned to begin the ministry training school in Recife, there were 28 congregations in the Northeast. In 2009, a count of the congregations yielded 98. In 2010, while reporting in the United States, we used the number 109. It is now approximately 10 months later as we make this video, and the number has grown at more than 2 per month. We now have 135 congregations of the Lord's Church in the Northeast region of Brazil. This fast growth is a blessing, but it also comes with challenges. False teachers also find fertile soil in hearts so eager to learn. Cults seem to spring up overnight and grow at an alarming rate. Churches without proper grounding in the faith are often victims. We want to do 2 things, and we believe that one is reliant on the other. In the first place, we want to evangelize every city in Northeast Brazil. There are 1,793 municipalities in 9 states with 54 million people. That's 10 million more than in all of Central America. Second, we want to train men and women and do just that. Send them out to start churches in every city. By training, we mean to qualify them for the work. We want them to know the Scriptures from front to back. We want them to be ready for, as the Apostle Paul said, every wind of doctrine that can toss them to and fro and even knock them completely off course. The first 10 years of our school saw a number of men and women trained, but the rapid nature at which new congregations began has kept us behind the curve. We felt the need to change our strategy and take full advantage of this increased receptivity. We have now opened up our classes to the public. People from all sorts of religious backgrounds are now coming to us for training, and we're teaching them the pure and simple gospel of Jesus Christ. Relying on those interested in ministry from the ranks of the church was just not enough for this urgent task. We now are bringing people in who have a desire to be missionaries, preachers, personal workers, but who are not from our fellowship. Our initial experience has shown that about 20% of those who come to study with us do join our ranks. It is really not too different from what happens in our Christian colleges in the States. The non-Christian comes to us to study, comes into contact with Christian instructors, studies the Bible, and is converted, and then goes on to be a great teacher and preacher of the Word. Ennio Latorre is a case in point. Ennio went to the United States from Brazil, never having heard of the Church of Christ, and with no thought of becoming a Christian. He wanted an education. He enrolled at Oklahoma Christian, made friends with Christians, studied the Bible, and gave his life to Christ. Ennio has since dedicated his life to teaching the Brazilian people, and he is one of our teachers at Ebenezer. For our strategy to work better and to draw even more Ennios, we are becoming a Christian college in Brazil. We will be the first among churches of Christ if all goes as planned. We are seeking full accreditation by the Brazilian government, something no other training program has. Though not our primary goal, it will greatly enhance the path we have chosen to prepare hundreds we need to prepare in order to reach the 1,793 municipalities here in the Northeast. Initially, we will only be accredited for a course in Bible theology, but we can add additional courses through the years and serve an increasing audience. We will have non-Christians at our doorstep to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ and then send them into the field to evangelize and plant churches. One of the things we need to make this plan work is full-time teachers. We have relied, up to the time we began to implement this plan, entirely on volunteer teachers. Though grateful for all they have helped us to accomplish, in order to meet the requirements of accreditation and to keep up with the new demand, we had to hire full-time teachers. We have hired 3 to date. They are Ricardo Sobral, Álvaro Pestana, and Nilton Barreto. Ricardo and his family moved to Recife in January and immediately began to teach and help us to implement our new strategy. Álvaro Pestana and his family will arrive at the end of this year, the Lord willing. Álvaro has years of experience in training ministers and is considered by most to be the best Brazilian Bible scholar in the church. Nilton Barreto will also be arriving at the end of this year. He is without a doubt one of our best preachers in the Brotherhood. He has traveled extensively to speak at Brotherhood events and has served the Bonacol congregation in Salvador, Brazil, preaching for more than 20 years. His cousin Rogério, one of our recent graduates, will fill the pulpit that he is leaving. You may have noticed that Brazil is on the map. Brazil is one of the world's fastest growing economies, and while the United States is still struggling to come out of a recession, Brazil is thriving. Soon they will not need help from the United States. Soon they will be able to send missionaries to Portuguese-speaking countries in Africa. But more to the point, we believe that our school, that has been totally dependent on funds from the United States, can become within the next few years financially independent. It takes a lot of money to fund a Christian college and to do all the work that is necessary for accreditation. What we need and what we ask for is greater investment now to get us on a firm footing so we can go it alone. This goal, while not our primary goal of evangelizing and planting churches, will also lead to that. Funds now used to support Ebenezer can then be used in other parts of the world. It is very common in Brazil to charge for such a course as ours. It is not something we have to convince them to do. They pay by the month. There are schools charging anywhere from $75 for unaccredited schools to $250 for an accredited school. Most are willing to pay more to have a diploma that is from an accredited school. But there is only one in Recife, and that is the Catholic University. Many will not study there as they want Bible theology and not Catholic theology. By increasing our enrollment to 150 and by charging them $100 per month, we can bring in $15,000, much more than our actual budget, and become independent. While this will not be our only source of income, it will be the primary one and sufficient to demonstrate the possibility of self-support. We need you to believe in this dream and to help us with the expenses we now have so that we can grow, become accredited, and become independent of outside funds. We are not asking for a long-term commitment. We can't be sure how long it will take, but we estimate between 4 and 8 years. That is why we call this our 2020 vision. We believe that by the year 2020, we can be financially independent and well on our way to placing a church in every one of those 1,793 municipalities in the Northeast region. Our work is under the oversight of a great church and their elders. It is the Bellevue Church of Christ in Nashville, Tennessee. They have been and are great backers of this work. But this is a big step. And we cannot do it unless we have more partners to share with us the burdens and the blessings of this fast expansion in the Northeast region. Please contact us if you need more information to make your final decision. Please make a financial commitment to help this dream come true. Help us to make Northeast Brazil the Bible Belt of Brazil. May God richly bless you as you consider this plea. Thank you for your attention.